truck is gone, truck runs, we'll talk about that. This is a mess.
I cannot really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you.
Oh. This is always the shop stuff that gets neglected, all the chores. See the go-go juice? That kept us alive during this whole ordeal. What is that? Oh, that's a piece of, well, you can take a guess. The other piece is right there. Whee! The carnage. All right, so that is a lot better than it was. This is that secondary space that we were talking about, and now you can see it with no car in it. So we still have to put the intake manifold from Ford on the Ford. We got a new thermostat for that. That's the carnage from putting those shorty headers on. We got some gaskets, chargers, an alternator, and then I got to go through this. But I have to bring the truck back in here to do that intake, so there's that. This bumper cover, I am waiting for the customer to call me back, tell me she's ready to order paint, because this was $600 within itself. So once she's ready to order the paint, we'll get that wrapped up. Nice to have this space just to get it away in there. Pallet wood. I see the truck piddled a little bit right there. That's not real cool. So we're going to see what that's about. We got to put the fender liners and the flares back on the F-150. This work box is going to go on once we get the flatbed done. I didn't put these back on because we still have to do a retorque after a few heat cycles on those. We got some of the lubrications, and then all of this hardware is just for this stuff. So this will be out of here soon enough. Got some oil I have to take in, my jacks, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so this is the second space. Come over here. If you missed the header video, these are the original manifolds off of the truck, and you can see why we replaced those. So if you want to see that, go check it out. I am glad that this is over. And on this table here, you know, what's really nice about this space is I can do jobs like this, some small engine repair. I just did a snowblower last week, and I have space to put these things actually. This is the kind of stuff I don't like taking up space in the shop when I have one lift and then I'm tripping over this kind of stuff. So we got the filters all ready to go. These gas tanks, I put a quick coat of paint over them. I had to repair a little bit of rust damage that was on the bottom there. We sealed the insides of the tank, and then we got the carb parts soaking right now. So then we can get these things running, get them winterized, and then get them back to the customer. So that's where that's at. Made a run to Harbor Freight this morning. Got some metal zip ties for our heat sensitive applications. More regular zip ties because you can never have enough zip ties. Some stuff for my details. These are, I don't know, they were shiny, they caught my attention, and I figured I could probably use them on the flatbed build somehow. Same with these, I was like, tire stickers, yeah, I want those. So those will probably make their way onto the flatbed. And then this was kind of cool. I don't know, maybe I've been living under a rock, but I haven't seen this at Harbor Freight before. It's just mechanics wire, and it comes with like a little belt loop, so you could be really cool and walk around with this like 1 pound of mechanics wire. Comes with a little dispenser. That stuff always comes in handy. So that's the space. All right, guys, so I think the next thing in this video is to get the truck back into this space so that we can do the retorque on those header bolts, make sure everything's hunky-dory there. I swear to God, we picked up like 57.5 horsepower, because it's definitely running a lot better and a lot smoother than it was before. I don't have that atrocious exhaust leak, and well, yeah, with a leak like that, you can bet that it's running better now that it has decent manifolds on it. So we're gonna bring that thing back in here and then get ready to do the intake. So let's pull it in. So little change of plans. We're actually going to pull the truck back out, and you're going to see why in just a minute.
Better than that.
So why do we have 4 floor scrubbers? Well, I guess 1, 2, 3 floor scrubbers and then a carpet extractor. Long and the short of the story is my buddy works at a place that was getting rid of them, and they retail for a lot of money. This carpet machine retails at $7,000. That red scrubber about $7,000, $8,000. The yellow one is $3,000 to $4,000, and that old beast over there didn't get a retail price, but I've seen them used for $800. So we're gonna try to fix them up, get them working, but we're not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna go back over to the shop because now that these are in here, we can't work on the truck in here. So let's head over there. All right, so here we are. We're gonna get ready to get the intake off of this truck, which is quite unfortunate because if you can see those yellow coil packs in here, we were just in here doing plugs and coil packs. So I had all of, this stuff off of here already. And then obviously the truck got headers in the last video. Why are we doing this? Because the intake manifold is either warped or the intake gaskets have failed. It's leaking coolant down into the valley and it's causing all sorts of problems. If you remember that heater core line, I'll throw a clip in here. All right guys, so I wasn't prepared to make this video at all. You can see that there. Sorry for the wind in the background. We're on the side of the road. Last night it was about 1:30 in the morning and the old work truck I thought gave up the ghost. We started overheating and smoking and it was dark. Long story short, all I had was my Yeti cup, so I limped it to where I was able to get water, filled it up, limped it home without too much issue. Was checking a few things out because I had to go get some antifreeze, and look at that. So this is good and bad. The heater core, the hose just busted off, so I guess I'm not mad about it, but obviously now I got to see if I have any tools. So I'm guessing what happened is it got hot. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it got hot. I believe that popped a gasket because I can see all of the coolant pooling up in the valley of the engine there. So yeah, we're just gonna tear this down. I already kind of started, I cheated, so I'm gonna set you up, get going. Okay, so camera died, but you can see we got the intake removed. So we got new Felpro premium gaskets for each side there, and you can see all the evidence of the coolant leaks. So tomorrow, the first thing I'm gonna have to do is go through and vacuum and just clean this out a little bit so we don't get any of this crap down in the engine. I'm calling it a night. I have a lot of cleaning to do, and that is something I don't wanna do right now because I've been here for about 12 hours today and I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go have a barley pop and get something to eat, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, so what I just did is go ahead and get all of the big chunks of dirt out with the shop vac, and these are our old gaskets, and you can see someone's been in here before because these are Felpros, very similar to what we have in this box. My assumption is that this intake is original though. They did not replace the intake, and that's just a guess, but it's because it is a Ford and it's really common to replace these with some Chinesium intake like a Dorman, something like that. So I believe that intake to be original. If you look right here, look at the damage to that gasket, and that was on that cylinder there that has a rag on it. And the rag is in there because there's actually coolant down in that runner there. So I was just wicking it up. It's gonna be hard to see down in there. Let me grab the light. Let's see, we got quite a bit of coolant out. Flashlight. You can still see some coolant down in that hole. So we're gonna wanna get all of that out. So I'm gonna continue to wick that out. But interestingly enough, when this truck would sit for more than a couple days, it would have a really rough start. And my assumption is that we were burning coolant this whole time, and the longer it sat, the more coolant went down there. Now, that is excessive. That is a lot of coolant, and that was probably just from pulling the intake off of the truck itself. But you could see where the coolant was escaping down in here and then would get burned by the engine. Okay, so we're actually going to use something from the detail equipment over here to get the rest of the coolant out of that cylinder. So like I said, a lot of the coolant that's in there that's very excessive, that would be really, really bad, was from pulling the intake off. But you can see evidence of coolant being burned in that cylinder before. So we're going to get this kit. I'll show you. It's about 13 bucks. It's really handy when I do details, but it's going to save our butts on this Ford here. It's under all this stuff. Keep it in here. I just keep it in here because it didn't come with a case and I don't want to lose it. So you can see a reducer adapter. This is a shop vac kit. I use it with this Milwaukee, so we'll set that aside. And then I think we'll use this one. This is just a little kit from Shopback. I think they're $8 at your local hardware store, but it's really handy for detailing, getting in dashes, stuff like that. There's a brush, there's a little nozzle, this is an extension here, so I might take that with us, and then another brush. So, really good kit. I just keep it in here because then I don't lose the little pieces. Might be excessive, we'll see. We'll see if you can get you a look down in here. It's hard to see, but even harder to focus the light. There, see it? Good to go. Not a puddle of coolant sitting in there. So I'm going to put a rag in this hole. I put a rag in every hole so that we can prevent the big deposits from getting out. We're just going to basically clean this up, get all this grime off of here. I'll probably time-lapse this. All right, so that's good and clean. Got this side good and clean, and now for the fun part. We get to take the manifold and transfer the fuel rail and all that other good stuff. So guys, that is about all I had for you. So we got the intake on the truck. That's all good to go now. We have no more coolant bubbles and we're not burning coolant anymore. So with the headers done and that done, the last thing I have to do is put the wheel well liners and the fender flares back on, and then we can start on the flatbed project, which I'm really excited about because it's bad, guys. Literally on a windy day, you can watch the box just like move around. That plastic liner in there is the only thing holding it together. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna get cleaning up my mess in the shop here, and then I'm gonna go get something to eat. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Drop a like on this video, subscribe if you have not already, and as always, we'll see you next time.